Hi, and welcome to Santa Monica, California for the finals of our 2016 U.S. Beach Open. We welcome you now to a final between Team E.R.I.C versus Team Dorks, which is really basically a conglomeration of Colorado plus other friends. We're really excited to bring you this game. We hope you've been enjoying the previous live stream. This is actually, I think, Game 8 of all of the games that Fulcrum Media has put on together today, and so we're really excited to bring you the final. At this point, the teams are getting ready to get started. I understand that they're looking to play some spike ball to decide who'll be flipping, who'll be taking the pull. But I think we're going to get started in about 4 minutes right now. We wanted to welcome you here, thank our sponsors for making this happen today, but also just make sure that you know that we are here for you and welcome you here to Santa Monica, California. Again, we are playing Team E.R.I.C versus Daiquiri Dorks. For those of you who've been following along, Team E.R.I.C came through pre-quarters through Feathers and Friends, which was basically a mischief-like team. Ended up playing Team Long Beach Legacy, which is a bunch of local players, including a lot of youth players, in quarters, and then took on a Seattle team called the Team of No One in semifinals in order to make it into the finals. Team E.R.I.C has been really rolling. I don't think there's a single team such far that has actually scored more than 10 on Team E.R.I.C to date. And so it's going to be an exciting matchup. As for the Daiquiri Dorks, it's going to be really difficult to call that name. But they've had also an exciting morning. They started through Funk Zone in pre-quarters, winning 13-10. Ended up taking Natsuo in quarters, winning 13-8. And then a really exciting semifinals for those of you who are watching between Golden State and Daiquiri Dorks, where Daiquiri won 14-11. So at this point right now, we're waiting about 3 minutes to get the game underway. You can see that they're looking to talk about how to do the flip. I'm not sure if we'll have the time to play a spike ball game, so I think that there's going to be some discussion about how to play. It looks like Charlie Merce is very upset. We're not going to get a chance to play some spike ball. But it looks like there's going to be some discussion, and we're going to be able to get started soon here, folks. So just so you know, again, this is finals. This is Beach Ultimate. This is 4-on-4 Beach Ultimate. For those of you who have not had a chance to watch or been paying attention to this tournament, this is co-ed 2 versus 2 and 2, 2 men, 2 women, playing on what I would call a smaller field from those who've been to layout or other beach tournaments. And more importantly, we have a 2-point rule. Again, this is a very different rule. That's Tosh over from Daiquiri Dorks, you're seeing on the screen right now. Actually, someone who's going to be both cutting and handling, and someone that I think the reason the camera's on right now is that you're going to be seeing a lot of her in the end zone or scoring some goals. But again, let's go back to that 2-point rule. So the rule here is if you throw a cross-gender end zone to end zone pass, it is actually counts for 2 points. So again, whether it's a man throwing to a woman or a woman throwing to a man, that will actually count for 2. Both of these teams have utilized that 2-point rule. It looks like actually they are pulling for, it's a hammer for distance to decide who's going to be winning the pull. And it looks like Eli out through Nathan White, and now as a result they get the choice of offense or defense on side. Again, this game will be observed. We will have 4 observers at this game. The observers' goals are to just help maintain time. They will be calling only active in-out calls. Other than that, the observer's job is to just basically wait and see if they're needed. Again, I think it's really exciting to see how observers fit into this style of offense, and more importantly, just how fast this game is. And I say fast for a couple reasons. One, it's because we're playing on a 6-second stall count. A 6-second stall count, folks. So again, for those of you who play normal Ultimate on grass, you play a 10-second stall count. But for right now, we're going to be playing 6 seconds of Ultimate. And so again, we're just getting ready here to get started. The teams are loosening up right now. What you're seeing is some of the Daiquiri Dorks women getting excited. Apparently, Claudia can dance. Who knew? No, she's just going. All right, she's just going to go by herself there. But of course, Eli, always attention for the camera there. He actually had an excellent game in the last game, and so it'll be exciting to see if he can continue to maintain in this second half. This final game. But again, Daiquiri Dorks just getting loose, getting ready to play. For those of you who are looking for the rosters, hopefully you can see them online, but these are just some all-star names that you're going to be seeing here, folks. And it's going to be a really exciting game. For those of you who are looking around, it's a little breezy. A little breezy right now, but it's really nice and sunny still. But the breeze is a crosswind. It's a little bit different from what we've had earlier. Before we actually had like more of an upwind, downwind. There is a little bit of an angle to that wind, but it really is a crosswind at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how it affects the team's strategy. Or if you're just entertained by watching Opie and Claire dance, well, that's fine too. As you can start to see, people are starting to come and fill up the sidelines. All the other games at this point have been completed. The finals are a standalone game at this point. And so I suspect you're going to end up seeing a lot of people on the sidelines here to watch. Again, also because these are all friends. These are a lot of players who play club either against each other or with each other. I mean, just looking at this shot right now, this is 6 different teams represented right now who are joined together. And apparently there'll be a dance-off later, I think, because why not? But I think we're about to get started. Chuck Kindred, who's going to be joining me on the mic a little bit later, is actually set up. He's going to be doing the national anthem on the fiddle, folks. And if you've not heard him play, he plays a mean fiddle. So I think that he's going to get set up there, and then he'll be joining me on the mic because Lord knows you need to hear from Chuck as well. But at this point right now, I think we're just waiting to get started. And that's Russell Gaskamp over to the right. That's our TD. He's been working real hard over this weekend to make this tournament happen. And I think that if you ask the players here, great success. And I'm certainly hopeful that this tournament will continue. And I'm very excited to have USA Ultimate taking an interest in Beach Ultimate and really putting money where its mouth is and wanting to make sure that Beach Ultimate is represented, but also just offer a different look at what Ultimate can look like, again, on sand. Because I will say the game looks very different on sand than he does on grass. But I think we're going to get set up for the national anthem at this point, and Chuck's going to get started. Again, that was Chuck Kindred playing the fiddle, and in a scene that is very reminiscent of USAU Nationals this year, both teams ended up taking a knee. And for those of you who were not able to see around to the crowd, a number of players, spectators also took a knee as well for the national anthem. But Chuck is now running over at this point, and he'll be joining me on the mic in a couple seconds. But we're about to get started, folks, and we're excited for bringing you a great culmination of a really fun tournament. Chuck and I actually had the pleasure of playing as well in this tournament, and so not only as a player, but I'm hoping from a spectator perspective, it's been a really, really, really fun weekend. Chuck, welcome.
Hi.
How you doing?
Awesome.
How you feeling?
Tired.
Tired.
For those who've never run on the sand, by the way, great way to gas your legs out.
Well, very nice.
Yeah.
And so I was just letting people know that we're getting started. We're a little bit late. Just want to make sure, obviously, the logistics are put together. But at this point now, the observers have started a clock. We are going to get started soon. Truth be told, it looks like Eric is on defense.
Looks like it.
To start. But I think Eli won the hammer off.
Oh, did they lag?
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on. I guess they're opting to start on offense, maybe. But obviously, we'll let you know one way or another.
This should be a really fun game.
It will be a really, really fun game. Again, for those of you who were here earlier, both teams took out some really, really talented teams to make their way over to this game. Daiquiri Dorks in the last game, of course, a really exciting game against Old Golden State. But E.R.I.C really has been cruising. I mean, again, when you look at the scores for teams that have been playing against E.R.I.C this morning, not anyone, I mean, it was 13-4, 13-5, 13-6.
Jeez.
I mean, they're in a groove at this point, and we had a chance to watch them yesterday, Chuck. I mean,
yeah, it looks like they're probably at a different level today because they were kind of playing loose yesterday, having fun, and also learning how to play with each other a little. But, I mean, those scores are pretty one-sided.
They are. And these are these are good teams. And so it looks like, actually, Daiquiri Dorks are starting on defense. That would make sense. Again, Eli did win our flip contest. And so at this point, it looks like on defense will be, I can't actually see, our vision's a little blocked. I see Becca Miller out there. I can't tell you who else. Chuck, you have any better view sight than me?
I sure don't.
I see Steph Lim.
Steph's out there. Who else? Yeah, we're in the danger zone over here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, these two rosters are so stacked with superstars that I'm looking forward to. I mean, the wind's kicking up a little bit, but hopefully we'll get to see some interesting plays in the air. Some people really like making crazy breaks.
Right. And then, like I said, even though you're playing with these all-star rosters, though, I mean, these are teams that don't normally play together.
It's true.
So there's certainly some growing pains of just getting used to each other. But again, based on just the scores, it seems like E.R.I.C's figured it out.
Wow.
Oh, there's a nice D by Becca Miller.
Great awareness.
Yeah, it was going to be an easy throw from Jimmy Mickle. It was going to be a score, but Becca just put her hand up there. And now,
shot to
quick
Steph.
turnaround to Steph Lim, just a little out of reach for her. Again, that crosswind, so that disc is going to start to move away from us and away from the camera that we're seeing here right now.
Right. You'll get a float on that flick, but on that last flick, it's going to push it down.
Correct. And you can see that point break sign in the view right now in the middle of the screen. That gives you a sense of the wind right now.
Right.
So this is basically just the Jimmy Mickle show.
Yeah. Jimmy Mickle show, starring Jimmy Mickle, produced by Jimmy Mickle.
Just outside the end zone. Looks like Evan Boucher has the disc and just puts it up.
To Jimmy Mickle.
To Jimmy Mickle.
Jimmy Mickle
I
every
think
other.
we're going to be saying that name a lot today.
Yeah, we have to come up with a nickname. That's too many syllables, I think.
It's true. Yeah, make it easier for us. So, but again, that's just on serve still. So.
Yeah, quick hold from E.R.I.C.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one turnover each, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe quick's not the right word.
We'll probably see some quick points.
True.
Sure.
Jimmy, Jimmy's already effective, good in the air, quick first step, all the throws. And on the sand, he's a big guy with a big frame. I mean, it really plays to your advantage if you're already a guy like him. Because if he gets a step on you, good luck getting around him. Good luck getting a push-off.
And then you add the height, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, so much of the throws that we see on beach are these high-release, floaty throws that really take advantage of that height. And so, I mean, now especially you're seeing Bo and Nathan White on this line, who's just to his right. Those are two players who know how to use their height very well on beach.
It's true.
So
they're keeping it behind the line here for the two-point look.
Yep, Eli with the disc right now.
Stall 6. Wow.
A little too far.
Just poorly executed there. Looks like a little contact downfield.
That's Claire Desmond and Charlie Mercer, a Fury Riot matchup that's very familiar to some.
Yeah.
Looks like there was no call there. And
yeah, kind of a bad throw. I think the stall got up on Eli, and he realized it was hit 5, and he just threw it.
Right. I'm pretty sure at least I heard 5. So now E.R.I.C with the disc in the middle of the field. Just dump it back to Bo, and Bo's now going downfield. There's a switch amongst the men on D. Toner on defense on Nathan White. Oh, finds the score for a break. I think that was a break there.
Yeah, E.R.I.C looks really dialed in. Gotta say.
So quick 2-0 now for E.R.I.C. And again, you just sort of see Bo flipping it back after some really tight defense on the dump, but easy around break. Wow, Nathan White just uses his frame really well there.
Yeah, such a wide reach.
What do you think his ape index is?
I don't know. So ape index is how long your wingspan is versus your height?
I think so. I think that's the correct, yeah.
I mean, if it's 1.1, that would be devastating.
Yeah, it's like a plus or minus, I think is how they
yeah, oh, okay.
How they do it.
If he had a 0 ape index, he would still be trouble. But he might not.
I'm sorry. Do you even know what his height? I don't know what his height is right now, actually.
I don't know. He's a big boy. Our cameraman's standing on their tippy toes, and you can see we're still looking up at him.
He still has to look at the upward angle.
Yeah.
All right, now Daiquiri Ducks on offense to start. Again, starting behind that 2-point line.
Yeah, Adam Rady swings it to Opie.
Opie wide open under. Again, she's a threat deep, so I can understand why she got so much space underneath. Adam Rady.
Wow, piece on that throw, I think.
And just outside the end zone now.
Yeah, and Adam Rady.
Oh.
Costly turnover there. Not a lot to look at, though, and the stall gets up quick.
I mean, it was stall 4, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
You had to get going. And again, you're hearing players say safe or 2. That's just helping ouch. It looks like they're okay.
Physical bids.
Yeah, very early on. Get some arounds. And now you hear the observer calling that in and out. Again, that's the only call that they're making active today. If you notice, we have 4 observers right now to help with those line calls. Oh, tailing away, but she comes up with the grab.
Yeah, the sand monster got her by the ankle there, but she hangs on.
But it just had so much float on it. I mean, it still was catchable.
Right. I don't know if you had that experience today, Slab, but I had a couple of those where you're running and then all of a sudden you feel your legs start to fail.
Snipered? Yeah, I've
you
definitely
just start
had
to go
those.
down. You can see her just kind of,
start to fall,
boy.
But able to put together that pancake grab.
Yeah.
Very nice floaty throw, and actually I think somewhat using the wind to its advantage, because when you just put it out to that space and just keep it up, it just sort of hang there and then...
Yeah, you get a true flight going that way. Actually, it's pretty tough to get that float on it. That was kind of an impressive throw. I guess you just flip it up high.
Downwind.
Yeah, you just get it high. You know the worst it's going to do is drop it.
And then maybe you can take a little less spin on it. Okay, so now we're just analyzing Jimmy Mickle's throws
we don't
here.
know. We don't know
the magic, how it happens, so have to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, well, now it's a quick 3-0. I mean, at what point do you think the strategy becomes...
Look for 2s.
Yeah. And I think that was the initial look. Coming underneath to Claire Desmond. Claire at 5. Wow, all right. That maybe a little bit of a fast count, but Claire did release it. And I think now the question is whether or not the disc is going to stay in the end zone or is going to stay right where Claire threw it from. And so I think having a discussion with the observers, the disc is going to stay on that end zone line. Oh, no, wait. No, he called a stall.
I think they said no stall. It sounded like it was a fast count. She got to 6, but the count was fast, so the play stands, in other words.
Right. Okay.
Just needs a ground check.
Now Paige Soper.
Oh, 2-point look.
Looking for Nathan White.
Oh, boy.
That's a floaty throw. That's a really nice.
Yeah.
That is a great defensive play.
Kept position against the lanky vet.
Oh,
and they give it right back.
Yeah.
They call that the conservation of greightness, right? When you do something that you have no business doing and then turn it over.
I think that's what it's called.
That's too bad. That was a nice
unfortunate. I mean, that's just hopefully it was supposed to be a momentum shift. Now they have to get another D.
Yeah, he saved a 2-pointer, though. I mean, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Nathan tried to get the 2-point. He tried to get his foot behind the line of goal line. Now we have Evan Boucher, a little bit in front of the goal line as well, looking for the women.
Oh, wow. A throw into traffic.
Not sure what happened there, but I think everyone just fell down. But there was a turnover. Tajima with the disc at this point, looking for Claire. Claire now stuck on the sideline again, looking to go up line. Nice grab. You know, she does that a lot in grass, too.
Yeah.
Turns out she can do it in sand as well.
2 of the greats.
Yeah.
A nice down-the-line throw here from Claire. Tricky to get enough touch on it, not overthrow your receiver. You know, you're in the sand. You really got to put touch on this.
Right.
Keep it in bounds.
And even then, I think Claire would tell you that that's not where she intended to throw that throw.
Right. It's a tricky day. I mean, you and I both had some challenges out there today.
I don't know about you, Chuck. I had a perfect day.
Yeah. What I meant to say was I really played terribly today.
No. No, it's always a challenge when you're dealing with players you usually are playing against.
Right.
And then are also on a median that we don't usually play on. And so to deal with that as well as some tricky wins today, certainly challenging.
Well, that's what's kind of impressive about E.R.I.C. is that they're playing so well together, yet this is an all-star team, which sounds so easy, right? Oh, you just get great players, they'll figure out how to play together. Not always. I mean, we've seen it.
It takes time. And then again, we only really have 7 games. I think this is the 8th game of the day of the tournament.
Right.
So ideally, yeah, you would say by game 8, should figure it out.
Byron Lou playing some tight Dion Mickle.
Again, now with the reset, looking for Mickle deep.
Oh!
That was a great defensive play. I really hope that's on replay.
Such a fun matchup.
I really thought that was a score. And Byron Lou just making a phenomenal defensive play there. For those of you at home, that was awesome.
Yeah, just a great pursuit by Byron. Had to just go full bore to even touch it and just gets a piece.
And then you know what? Again, it was a break throw. Okay, so that's a 2-pointer for Tosh.
Oh, she's so close.
So close.
Natasha Wan lays out. Must have barely touched it.
I mean, that would have tied the game, too. I mean, that's not a bad idea. We had a lot of air underneath it, just maybe a yard or two too far.
Yeah, you got to take those shots. And I mean, that's what's fun about this format, the 4-on-4 with 2-pointers cross-gender from end zone to end zone. It's a small field, lots of interesting throws and lots of swings. Lots of point swings, I mean.
Right. Little too high for Bo. Now puts Daiquiri on the offensive. Slim taking the under as Tosh went deep. Now Tosh on the sideline.
Oh, wow.
For Eli. Yeah, that's a tough matchup there.
Yeah, a little too much air under it. Eli calls it a travel. That's the first time Bo's ever had a travel called on him. Fun fact.
All right, so now it looks like the disc is going to get checked in. Jimmy on the sideline. Looks at Charlie.
Wow.
Was that inverted?
I think it was just a backhand.
All right. So now Bo trapped on the sideline. Back to the middle of the field. Jimmy going for the break. Now Charlie open.
Oh, wow.
Another break throw.
Nice move.
For a score.
So that was a forced backhand?
I think so.
Yeah, they really exploited that.
Yeah. I think they were definitely forcing backhand there. So let's see it on the replay. Oh, Byron barely tries to get a hand on it.
He is so crafty. Yeah, you can see Slim kind of recovers, and then I think the mark didn't
come
recover.
Over. Yeah, it didn't come over enough.
Yeah, okay.
So left Slim out there, unfortunately. But now 4-1. Again, could have been 3-3, but now it's 4-1. And let's see what Daiquiri Dorks can come up with. It's really weird to call them that. I gotta think of a better... Do you just want to call them Daiquiri?
Daiquiri Dorks. For those who don't know, Nationals used to be in Sarasota, Florida, and there's a bar called the Daiquiri Deck that everybody would go to when they lost.
The watering hole, so to speak.
The watering hole, yeah. So Daiquiri Dorks is kind of a throwback
to the Sarasota days of lore.
To the Sarasota days. That's where I made my mark in big quotation marks. That's where I took my lumps.
Daiquiri Deck or Sarasota?
That's a good point, yeah. Probably more the deck.
All right.
My first trip to Nationals, played on machine. We offered. We finished last. So that was fun.
That must have been fun.
Daiquiri Deck was open.
All right, so it looks like back behind the goal line. Looking for a 2-pointer. Well played. Well defended. Now Eric off basically after the races. Wow, Nathan with an open.
Wow. That was a nice little move by Nathan White. Moving the mark around, kind of, a lot of people kind of checking his eyes, and he knew that, so he just kept making his fakes, keeping that wide stance.
But, in the end, he actually had an open player on the open side, but...
Right, it wasn't quite the right angle, but... he just did just enough to rock Claire Desmond a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of watching him to see what he's doing.
And even though she bid, I think
Yeah, it just gave him the tiniest little window. Great throw.
Right.
And actually, Claire was right there.
Again, now 5-1.
It's impressive.
Wow.
Eric.
Yeah.
Early runs are critical.
It's really hard. We were having this conversation earlier. Like, if you take half and it's 7-2, it's a really difficult hole to climb out of.
Yeah, totally.
Particularly in beach, it's just very hard to get those breaks.
Well, did we establish this to 7 or 5, or
to 13?
To 13.
Yeah. 13
so
still.
good luck coming back.
Yeah.
Luckily, the 2-pointers in play.
Yeah.
That helps.
So it looks like Eli with the disc on the sideline, looking for Becca Miller. Oh, just too much on that throw.
Wow, Becca really put on the afterburners there. I thought she was going to maybe get that.
Yeah, I think it was just still too far. It still landed out of bounds. But yes, absolutely. She found a second gear there.
She was moving. Deep ball to Bo.
Was that behind the line of scrimmage? Is this a 2?
This is a 2.
Nope, too far.
Yeah.
Nice attempt to keep his foot in bounds. He was just his momentum was just carrying him too far out.
That's right.
So now here, Daiquiri with an opportunity for a 2.
What happens if he greatest that back in and then a girl catches it in the end zone? Is that 1? I guess that's 1.
I think that's a 1, right? Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, that would be amazing. Let's have that happen. Oh, looking
baby.
for a hammer to Claudia.
Oh, baby.
She is not in.
Oh,
she didn't check her feet.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh.
She had 1 foot out.
And then has to make up for it with a layout grab.
A couple of the people in the crowd booed because her foot was out, so then she lays out, wins them all back.
She straddled, and the observer made the call saying she was not in.
Yeah, watch her. She's all upset.
Her upset at herself. Oh, no.
That was a pretty sick hammer.
Yeah, that was.
So the wind's kicking left to right really hard. So to keep that left, I mean, it's surprisingly hard to keep a hammer left like that. You have to really keep a blade. That was a sick throw.
It was a very, very sick throw. I mean, yeah, that would have made it 5-3, but hey, still 5-2. They're discussing it right now. Sometimes, as coaches, you tell your players, don't check your worry about the disc.
Right.
This is one of those situations where I think you would tell them the opposite.
Oh, big point block.
Amazing point block on the end zone line.
And they hug, folks.
They hug.
That's what we do.
I mean, you just have to respect great plays like that.
Yeah.
And now,
so maybe you want to power dump it back for the 2. Nope.
I don't think so.
Ops for the 1. It's probably easier.
Take the break. Brakes are already hard enough. Take the break.
That's a nice turn of events.
I really hope there's a replay of that point block. Luke says no. Sorry, folks. Technology is great, but we can only have limits.
You know what's nice on the goal line is really, really athletic receivers cutting from the dump position.
Totally.
And watch Opie just torch it up line.
Yeah, and again, the windows do not have to be that big.
Right.
Just put it out to a space, and 1 step is enough.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, even though the defender's in this frame, but you can't really push off that cleanly. So, like, if she had cleats, if we were on grass with a toe cleat, she could probably explode just a bit and touch that.
A little bit further, right?
Right, but you don't get that push off.
Mm-hmm. All right, 5-3. Don't call it a comeback.
Oh yeah, here we go. 5-3 might as well be 5s. Eric is terrified.
Oh,
look at this pull.
Fortunate pull. Again, these pulls have to be inverted. So again, I think it just got caught in the wind. So it gives Eric a short field. Page on the reset in the middle of the field. Looking for the reset. Really nice dump.
Great pressure so far. Nate open down the line.
And he is going to score that.
Yeah, Tosh tried to adjust.
10 out of 10, he's going to score.
Right. Right. Yeah, Natasha Wan tried to strike that, but just with the wind blowing the way it is, that's a downwind throw. You can throw it basically as high as you want.
Right.
So you can see Nate's going to throw and go here. Gets the inside position. It's basically over at this point.
She tried to strike, but Paige was smart enough to put the disc over Tosh.
Right.
And just right to the space.
Yeah, good sequence. Eric gets back on the horse here, 6-3.
Yeah, next point, if Eric scores, it'll be for half. These games move so fast.
It's crazy. We're almost to the half.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, you know what I haven't seen, and probably it's because of this format, is one of those marathon points with like 6 turnovers aside. It takes 20 minutes. Pretty hard to do one of those.
Bent over and try to suck some air.
Yeah, calling a timeout.
I don't think we had any of those. Maybe we did.
Yeah, our team did, folks, but let's not talk about that.
So they're asking for a repull. So in the rules, there is the option for a repull if a ball does not land, if it lands out of bounds. Oh, maybe it was offsides. There's an offsides call.
That could be.
That's what it is. Again, we have the observers, so while they are calling line calls, they are also calling offsides.
So they stay on. Yeah, they stayed onside there. Eli in the 2-point space here. Claire Desmond downfield.
But you have Charlie Mercer basically playing center field.
Oh,
right
and
now.
here we go.
Claudia down, puts a lot of English on that on that throw.
Yeah, she put it out. It was out the back. You know, and we were talking about this earlier that it's probably easier to just, when you're hucking, just aim for the end zone and not look at the receiver as much.
Right.
Because it's such a small end zone. Like, these fields are deceptively short.
And the end zones in particular. I mean, these are only 10-yard end zones.
Yeah, if somebody's open to the backhand side, instead of trying to thread the needle, like, it's almost like you just want to aim for the end zone on the backhand side and just leave it at that.
So Evan looking. There's been a little bit of confusion with E.R.I.C players. They've actually just been sort of all coming to the same space, but
Toner's moving really well in the sand.
Switching in and out. I mean, like, there's no one playing a specific position on E.R.I.C. They are both cutting and coming back to pick up the disc, and that's probably why they've been so effective.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those cuts, like the one Bo just had. He's kind of back behind the disc, and then he goes up line, gets the break for the goal.
And that's really hard to defend.
Yeah, like, Nathan White throws and goes. What are you gonna do? You can't take everything away.
Right. And just milks that for the score. It is half now. It's 7-3.
7-3.
And so coming in at half. Oh, sorry. We're just going to sit down now.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Have you? I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I'll be honest right now. I was hoping for a little bit of a closer game. I know. Again, let's acknowledge that Daiquiri did have a really tough game against Golden State this last round, and E.R.I.C for the most part was cruising. And there are half hours between rounds. But you are talking game 8 at this point.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But you're right. That semi was a barn burner.
Yeah.
So they probably are tired. And I mean, I noticed today, I made the mistake of going to the gym on Friday. Don't do that, by the way. So day 2 of a tournament, I may as well not have been out there. I couldn't run to save my life. So you might be running into that now, where it's like, even though these are only 20-yard sprints, they're in the sand. And
sand sprints are so hard. I mean, at this point, your arches are starting to kill you. Your toes are starting to kill you. Your Achilles are starting to hurt.
Yeah,
that's
tough.
Really what you get to when you get to day 2 or day 3 of a tournament. And for many of these players who are, I think, interested in playing at Worlds, that'll be in June. This is practice.
Right.
But that tournament's 6 days. And so while you play less games, you're still dealing with the aftermath of playing on sand for so many days in a row.
Yeah, there is something about sprinting on sand. It like taxes all kind of different muscle groups. You're constantly having to stabilize. I don't know what it is.
It's these little muscels, right? Like the muscles that we just don't use in grass. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, God, that hurts. Where is that
The muscles that you don't use at a desk job. You don't even use them.
Certainly at a desk job. But we have a good crowd today. I mean, it's kind of exciting to have a lot of people here watching. Again, all the other games at this point are done. So players are coming over to watch, hang out, heckle, of course.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and
everybody's hanging out.
There was some serious heckling. That Claudia Straddle got some serious heckling earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody's sitting on one of our sponsors. I think it's Easy Lay, these big inflatable couches. I don't know if we can get any shots of those things, but they're really cool, really comfortable, and you can just kind of open them up. The wind fills them up. You sit on them. You can lie on them, take a nap.
Yeah, actually, what the audience is seeing right now is another one of the sponsors, which is the Hucket Bucket.
Yeah.
And that's actually what that gentleman with the pink hat is holding.
The old pink hat guy.
A tool if you want to be able to carry all your stuff to and from the fields. Hucket Bucket.
That's right. Hey, every tournament, you've been in an ultimate tournament, every tournament's got some guy in a pink hat. He's wearing a blazer. I mean, that's just ultimate.
I mean, you got to have the classy.
That dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see that guy.
Pretty classy. But yeah, I mean, so at this point right now, we're just waiting for the second half to start. It looks like we have 2 minutes to the second half.
2 minutes to go. Guys, the election's coming up if you're a registered voter in the U.S., and you probably want to get your vote in now. I'm voting for Neil deGrasse Tyson and his running mate, Bill Nye. But there's also the two-party system. Think about that.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel is good. But get out and vote. Like, have a voice.
Definitely. But also, to that note, USAU just had their elections as well, and I think the winners were actually announced yesterday.
Oh, really?
My understanding is Deanna Ball, I think it's actually unofficial, which I don't understand how that is, but there's an unofficial release of results. Deanna Ball taking the at-large, and then Heather Ann Brower, the elite position. So, assuming that becomes finalized, congratulations to them both.
Awesome.
I know that there was a huge pitch this year to make sure that players voted, and they've said in the past we've had, unfortunately, really, I'm going to call it abysmal turnout.
Right. It's actually difficult to get. I mean, you got this governing body that it's hard to connect that to the grassroots teams, the guys that, guys and gals that are playing pickup a lot, people that are just trying to run a program at a high school.
Right.
But the more traction you can get, the better you can represent, and getting people out to vote and be connected to their representation is.
And then that was the thing
huge.
about HA. She put a video out. There was a online Reddit debate. And this was new. I mean, I've been a player for 15 years, and I can't recall this happening before. I know there have been player statements in the past, but there was a huge push this year to make it aware that, like, if you want changes, if you want your position to be heard, elect the people that will help to make it happen.
And it's Justin Bieber dance break right now.
Absolutely. Hey, this is how they started the game. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't want to work in the first half, but my hope is it'll maybe loosen them up for the second half.
Yeah,
right
they're a
now.
little camera shy, I think. You put a camera on them and they stop
They're
dancing.
never camera shy. No, I think that's not true at all.
God, look at how talented this roster is.
All right.
Byron Lou, Opie, Claire Desmond, Eli, Steph.
Lim.
I mean,
Yeah.
just holy smokes.
Yeah. But at this point now, we are on the clock. The Daiquiri is on offense to start the second half. This is an opportunity, I guess, to just start to close that gap. Again, they are down 4 at this point.
Yeah, it's go time. But coming out of half, quick 2-pointer, 5-7, Like,
True
that's
that.
what you're looking for.
True that. I mean, but on the other hand, if you're Team E.R.I.C, you know that. You know they're going downwind. I mean, it's not a bad opportunity to try it. They're going downwind, actually.
Yeah, you got the right wind for it. You got some matchups you can use. And actually, I mean, Toner's moving really well in the sand. I don't know if you would ever send him deep.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like if he catches a pull, centers it, and then takes off, that works really well in this
really
format.
Effective.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you have perhaps deliberately. Pull was out of bounds.
You're probably right. Eric knew they would probably be looking for a 2-pointer, so they throw it out.
Yeah. So now at this point, getting it at the brick mark. And we
nope.
have Slim downfield. Slim coming underneath. Slim normally someone who handles. I think that's actually a smart decision. You put her in the middle of the field, give her an opportunity to just use all of her throws.
Right.
And now just a give-go between Tosh and Slimmy with the hammer.
Oh, my goodness. And a catch D from Nathan White.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
See, for a player that plays a lot of women's, that's not a D that you expect.
Right. Oh.
I think she's okay. And so now the disc is quickly put back into play. Disc in the middle of the field. Again, we have Slim downfield. Oh, poor decision when you had Slim open. This is why it's co-ed, friend. You throw to your women.
That's right. Throw to your women, Eckel. Where are you at? That was a scary moment on that D, though. It looked like Toner almost trucked her, but I think he avoided it. I don't know.
At least I think it was enough avoidance.
Yeah.
And now you just have Eric just swinging around and around and around until they get the score.
Man, that was boring. What the heck?
It's just such nice offense.
Just
what
a
is
layout,
there to talk about?
a layout clap catch on the open side? Huh?
Yeah.
Where's the hammer? Where's an ill-advised thumber or something?
I don't think they got to this stage with those throws.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
That's why we're in the booth, folks.
That's exactly why we're in the booth.
Because Slap would have thrown a hammer there, I promise.
Oh, hands down. I mean, let me tell you, the lefty hammer is so underutilized.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to throw. Great grab.
Yeah, nice catch. She's
and a
working
break
hard.
out of half for Eric.
Yeah. Eric doing what they do.
Yeah, just, I mean, seriously.
Educating people and winning.
And winning games. Winning hearts and minds of everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is 8-3. I'm not giving up hope yet, but I will say with the game to 13 and 5 points away from a victory, it's starting to feel like a daunting task for Daiquiri.
It is.
All right, an all-star line for sure. Adam
Eli.
behind the line of scrimmage. I think. Why not send both women deep? Nope. Just shorts it to Claire Desmond. And now Paige trying to run downfield. A lot of switches.
Oh, wow. She caught it.
Wow, you had two very good defenders closing into that space. And Jimmy Fine, I think that was Jimmy. Well, let's see with the replay.
Yeah, I think it was a touch shot over the top from Jimmy.
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
Little high backhand here out to space.
Just puts it to space. It's just too far for Opie to get to, too far for Claire to get to.
That's a nice throw and an excellent catch.
That's a better grab, though.
Yeah, it is.
Great grab. And again, as you see at the end, I mean, these players all know each other. They're still all friends. You still get high fives. Congratulations for great plays. Because
it's true, and it's always been that way in Ultimate. You know, it's always been that way.
One of my favorite things about it. Yeah. Congratulate your opponents for great plays.
True.
All right, now we're at 9-3. I mean, at what point do you think we get some wet flags up in here?
I don't know. I want to see some completed two-pointers stat. That's a medical term.
I mean, you have Claudia and Eli. No, he gets in front of the line. Claudia in front of the line as well. I mean, this is her jam right now. This is an opportunity for her. Oh,
wow.
Making that exciting.
Yeah, Byron somehow able to gather that in.
He really wanted to get closer to the sideline, so thought he should
Byron is so fast.
He is really so fast. Jeez. Nathan is just sort of in the middle, just waiting around in circles.
Right.
Oh, Claudia throws that up to Eli. Oh. Eli nearly gets it. In fact, he almost got the trailing edge of that. And I think there's a discussion right now between Evan and Eli. And I think they're going to go to the observer at this point. And
observer.
The observer is saying no foul.
No foul.
All right. That means Eric with the disc. Let's see the replay. Yeah, it didn't look like a foul.
Yeah.
I missed the replay, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough angle. He's trying to reach over Evan.
Right,
you know, kind of a tough
I mean, the disc was short. Evan hitting the easy reset.
Nice around, yeah.
Now Nathan with the lefty. So cheeky. Hitting Evan in the middle of the field.
Byron wanted a bit on that.
He really does. You see that stutter step that Nathan's been using. Byron's not falling for it.
Oh,
with the bid.
Wow.
And with the completion.
Oh, man.
I mean, let's think about this. This is the 10th score for E.R.I.C, and I think their women have scored at least over 50% of half of them.
That's a great point. Yeah, they're the ones getting in the end zone a lot.
Right. I mean, they just make all this work. They churn downfield, and they are finding ways to get open in the end zone.
Well, you know what it is Nathan White went deep that one time, got D'd up, and it was very embarrassing. And so they were like,
I'm sure
what?
He's thinking about that. He's going to keep him up at night.
Yeah. So they're like, we should probably throw goals to our women from now on.
Right, but I mean, that's a really effective use of your roster. And credit E.R.I.C for figuring that out and being able to do that. And, you know, for those of you who are watching saying, well, who are these women? Well, I don't think name recognition at this point matters so much as understanding that E.R.I.C has figured out a way to exploit and utilize the talent on their team and are doing it just across the board.
Yeah, it really kind of becomes a philosophy. Yeah. Some teams, when the game's on the line, they use all four players. Some teams, when the game's on the line, it turns into boy ball.
Right. And now you have Opie behind the line of scrimmage, the goal line. I'm sure she was thinking about the two. And you know what's nice about that right now?
Stall's got to be getting up there.
How is the stall not at 6?
I don't know. I think it was a fast count maybe.
And so maybe came back.
Possibly. I don't know, yeah.
E.R.I.C's doing a really great job of switching on defense right now. There is not a single player who guards a single person. That was a really nice D by Jimmy. Opie couldn't get enough on that hammer. I hung a little too much. Again, that was up on the upwind side as well. Now you have Charlie Mercer with the disc. It looks like the 2 is available at this point. The crowd is yelling for the 2. Paige gets the break off.
Jeez.
Nice closing speed.
Yeah, he won that foot race.
Yeah. I think that there was some contact actually between Opie and Paige, so I think there's a call. And
that looked like it was either a flat mark or that was a backhand mark that she got around on somehow.
I think she got around on a backhand mark there.
That was a nice throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if we can. I don't know if we have an angle of the throw, but it was a step around flick.
And so at this point right now, the observers are coming in because there was a call into some discussion that happened between Paige and Opie. I think there's a question of whether or not there was an earlier foul call by Paige before the release. The players are working it out, and I think this is just going to stay on the end zone line. They're still talking it out, but it looks like Daiquiri's going to keep the disc.
Contested stall. Okay.
Oh, it was a fast stall then.
Yeah. Interesting. All right.
See, at this point right now, again, you're seeing that the women are just sort of split
Ooh.
downfield, and we've just been switching on and off between Opie and Slim.
So that was a lot of body. I don't know if she was going to be in bounds or not. But
I think it was out of bounds anyways.
Okay, because Slim
I think
moved.
that was just insurance from Charlie just to make sure that it stayed out of bounds.
Slim moved left awfully quick.
Well, I can understand why.
Yeah.
Oh, a missed throw. And now Daiquiri with a chance to hopefully score. They're about 10 yards themselves out of the end zone.
Yeah, they need one. They need one.
They really do need one. Yeah.
Here we go, Daiquiri.
Slim going to the break side, Opie to the open side. A little bit of a short throw. Opie going back to the break side. This time.
That one worked.
That one worked.
Opie keeps it in this time. Nice throws to space. Like she's recognizing that space well. First one just got a little deep on her.
Right. Well, stopping the bleeding, I guess.
Right.
4:10 at this point.
4:10. No time like the president for 3 consecutive 2-pointers.
That would be an impressive turn of events.
I'm not a coach. I don't know the strategies, but that would be probably what I would do. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm surprised. I'm surprised how one-sided this is.
Yeah, you see Slim right now on the camera, and some players talking it out. They're just having a good time, though. Let's be honest. You're just here having a good time.
That's right.
How often do you get to be in November in Santa Monica?
That's true.
Hanging out on the beach with your friends.
Totally gorgeous day.
Yeah. So now Eric trying to get moving. Evan starting behind line of scrimmage again. Now starting to go upfield because, again, they're switching that. Really effectively switching. Bo over to Evan. Evan now looking downfield. Resets over to Bo. Again, really, they are just looking for these women to get open. So they're just going to continue to reset till they find one of those women get open. And they're going to continue to reset and continue to reset. And now looking to the break side.
Wow.
Women gets open.
Jeez.
This is a strategy that's working.
Yeah, and you know what? They played great D there. That little IO backhand leading pass from Evan Boucher is just maddening. You do everything right, and then he threads the needle to Bo, and then they get a couple more of these. You stop it, he sneaks this around, and then this pass with a bidding defender. Geez, Louise. What do you have to do to get a block?
You have to put a little more spin on that disc.
Right. You can see 2 rotations on its way.
And again, a diving Becca Miller, but that is the break side at that point. She's in the right position. The disc goes to the break side.
Right.
And
oh, boy. Yeah, a couple little backhands around from Evan to Bo that really opened that point up.
That whole thing up, right? All right, 11-4. Arguably now a 2-pointer from Eric ends the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never thought about that.
Yeah. Again, they're starting behind the goal line, but in front of it, I don't think Daiquiri has really committed themselves to trying this 2-point strategy. They seem very content with just small balling.
Wow.
Byron shorts that throw. A chance for a break. Finds open Charlie underneath. To the middle of the field.
Wow.
It's just too easy.
Yeah.
And again, it's finding their women downfield, but it's also just you going break side, back to open side, back to break side, back to open side. You'd think this team has been playing together more than 8 games.
Yeah, and it's funny, the breaks on this field, there's more touch, there's less risk in a way because you're kind of just putting them out to space. The defense can't respond as well in the sand. There's something about it. The breaks just look higher percentage.
Again, these are not. These are not chump defenders.
No.
These are some of the best women.
Well, and how about the mark isn't out of position, but you can kind of throw these little puffs over the top. You don't have to make an exact throw, and I think it's because the defense can't really recover. They can't recover position the way they can on grass.
Right.
So you don't need to be quite as accurate. And credit to Eric. They're just destroying them
at this point.
Yeah, they're using the break side so effectively.
And am I correct? I think the winner of this tournament walks away with some prize money too. Isn't that right?
Yeah, $15 million. $15 million.
I think they write a check out for that, right?
Right.
Yeah, they got the big
We'll have our stat boy double check that, but I think it is. No, what is it? That's a good question.
$1,000.
$1,000?
Yeah. I remember reading that. Maybe I was wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That doesn't hurt.
This was one of the advantages about coming to this tournament. You just
especially because you got a smaller roster. You know, it's not like a club roster. $1,000. Everybody gets a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Here, Daiquiri with a score. Starts off with a little bit of a hammer. Releases back to the middle of the field. And then Opie just sets up her cut. Just starts to trail over to that break side and then comes back to the open side for the easy score.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Eric just needs to hold, and this game's over.
It's true. All the pressure's on Daiquiri Dork.
Yeah.
Daiquiri Dork? Daiquiri Dork.
Daiquiri Dork. Yeah, I know. We're just calling him Daiquiri.
Yeah.
But, again, I'm going to go back to this point. I mean, how much of this is just carryover from that last game, that last just barn burner of a game?
Right, and once you get behind, like we said, I mean, it's almost like having a short stack in poker or something like that. It's just you
just got to go all in and know that you're going to get eliminated.
That's right. That's why I always lose. That's
poker
what I always
tips
do.
from Chuck.
Right.
2-pointer.
Yeah, there it is.
Tosh with the D. That seemed unnecessary. When you're up 12-5, that seemed really
It doesn't even make a difference, yeah.
Yeah. There's no read for that. You're giving Daiquiri the disc now. Claudia with the hammer. Not in. But really nice. Now I had to dump it back about 15 yards because the players couldn't get into place. A little cheeky throw from Eli. Eli now running up line. Looking for Tosh. Oh, just a little miscommunication.
Yeah, it looks like Boucher jumped the lane on Eli, and he pulled away from that cut, and then Tosh had already thrown it.
Right. You think they go for the 2 again?
I guess. Maybe they want to score 14.
They just to like the number. Oh, that's a nice throw.
I'd like to win.
Oh, nice attempt from Charlie. Could have ended the game, man. Could have been somebody.
Yeah. Now we get a little more ultimate.
Yep.
Everybody wins.
Again, now Claudia with the disc. I seriously green light her at this point.
Yeah, she's got some nice deep shots.
Why not? I mean, I realize who we have on defense, but
yeah, if I were Eli there, I would have faked like I was going for the dump and then just go.
Busted.
Yeah,
right.
That's so much easier than trying to get open downfield.
Tosh with the easy throw. Now disc resets to the middle of the field. High release from Eli. Wow.
Eli, was that a high release flick?
It's a high release flick. He has perfected that throw. I've watched it over the years, and let's see if you see it on the replay.
We love it.
Again, starts on the sideline, just gets a reset over back to the middle of the field. There's Eli. And you're going to see this high release flick to a space that honestly no one can see. Look at that throw.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's too far for the defender to get to.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you got to tip your cap on that one.
That's a lot of practice, I can tell you that.
Yeah, geez.
I've seen that not work a lot as well.
If I were guarding that receiver, I definitely wouldn't have been expecting that.
No. You also wonder if his receiver is expecting that throw.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crucial.
I don't think many people have that throw.
Yeah, you think you're covered and you're just clearing, and then all of a sudden the disc is in the air.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow. All right, 6-12. Wow, that was a
that
really
dude works out.
Pull.
Wow. Got a set of guns on him.
Yeah.
Let's get a close-up of his upper arm. That is pretty spectacular.
All right, now Eric with the chance to decide if they want it on the goal line. They choose the goal line. Jimmy takes the easy underneath to Paige Soper. Oh, nice. And now throwing for the...
Oh, that is dirty.
What just happened there?
I think the defender got turned around, maybe. I'm not sure what happened, but...
And that's game. Just like that. That's game. Team Eric running the table.
Wait, let's watch the replay. Apparently there was a block. Was this like a point block?
I'm not sure. So let's see. Slim's looking at it. I don't know if Slim got a hand on it, and I'm not...
I heard Eli say somebody blocked it out of his reach. I don't know. It looked like the defender just got turned around.
Well.
And Nate did one of his little double moves.
Yeah. Wide open, though, for the end zone for the goal.
Yep.
But thanks, folks, for joining us. We appreciate you being here. That was a very fast final score. Final score here, 13-6. Eric over Daiquiri Dorks.
Yeah, and one thing to consider as you're watching these games, there's consideration of Beach Ultimate as a division. What should it look like? And some of the people that are getting together to talk about this think this is a good format because it's equal gender. It's 2 men, 2 women.
Right.
It's a little bit of a smaller field. It kind of it's an exciting format. And this is something that we're trying out. A lot of the big tournaments like Paganello, like Layout is 5-on-5 Sandblast.
Mm-hmm.
All the big ones. Ocean City. All the big ones.
Layout. But, yeah, exactly. I was talking to the TD last night, and he was saying, part of why they're trying this 4-on-4 format, this, again, is because of the equal gender, but also because the field size is actually equivalent to other Olympic sports, specifically beach volleyball.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so actually one of the things that the reason that this, let's call it an experiment or let's call it a new format, is to try and offer IOC, who I know is watching Frisbee at this point, a vision of Frisbee that can be easily integrated into the Olympics. And so I think it's not surprising to see that USAU, recognizing this as an opportunity, has now started to invest in this division. Again, we had our first beach nationals last year. I think that was the last year was our first beach nationals.
I think it's 2
years ago.
I think we've had 2 of them. Yeah,
2 at this point.
Right.
Again, this is a sport really at its infancy, but again, one that I think both USAU is recognizing, WIFTIF is recognizing, and I think local players and tournament directors who you just saw on the screen right now are recognizing as a new avenue into Ultimate and bringing Ultimate into a larger audience, including perhaps the Olympics.
Yeah, and there is some precedent too. You think of volleyball.
There is a big check. Look at that.
There is a check. There is some precedent. Like when you think of volleyball and what most people watch when they watch volleyball these days, even though indoor sixes is like kind of the more standard format, I think. Hopefully I'm getting my history right here.
It is, yeah, but it's a really fun game. But yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, Beach 2s is kind of what we're all used to watching. Right. So it's like, why couldn't that also be true for Ultimate? It's easier to shoot. It's fun. You get people out on the beach. It's a good spectator and a good event.
It's spectacular plays. Again, for those of you who had watched, I think the full gambit of 8 games that Fulcrum Media put on this weekend, there were some phenomenal plays. Let's just talk about this game. Byron Liu's D on that far side.
So pretty.
It's so pretty. This sand is so conducive to just phenomenal Ultimate as well. And though it's different, it's still really fun, very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it was a great game. I should say like all these games this weekend. We covered, 9 games this weekend?
Yeah.
Pretty cool showcase of Beach Ultimate, a young up-and-coming division. A lot of talented players getting in on it. And Beach Nationals coming up next year.
Yeah,
Beach World's coming up in June.
Beach World's coming up in June. But also, like I said, it was U.S. Beach Open's first inaugural tournament. My expectation is that it's going to happen again. And my hope is that this division continues to grow. It's certainly fun. It's certainly, I think, the one that the players have certainly enjoyed. And you can see it. Look at the Spirit Circle right now. These are teams and players who all know each other, who all enjoy each other, and right now are having an opportunity to play with each other on a format that all of us really enjoy, especially being in California. Come on.
Hey, it's not so bad.
No complaints.
Eventually, we're going to break off and float off into the ocean, but until that happens,
you might as well come enjoy the beach.
Come visit.
Come enjoy the beach and enjoy. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors, Spikeball, Savage, Dishcraft, The Easy Lay, Hucket Bucket, Alkalogic. And thank you, of course, to USA Ultimate for making this happen. It's been a pleasure, Chuck.
Always.
Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Thank you, of course, to Fulcrum Media for just doing phenomenal work. Understand that this was a crew of 4 that basically stayed out here for the last 12 hours for the last 2 days and did this because they wanted to bring quality Ultimate to you at home. And so credit to Fulcrum Media, of course, to Luke Johnson as well for just making this happen. And thank you, of course, for joining us.
Good times. IOC, we love you.